UFC rankings are out, and they are a mess. A lot of movement. I'm Matt Parrino.
I'm Forrest Griffin. Let's talk about fighting.
Let's talk about fighting. Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, 7-spot jump in the rankings. He moves up to number 5 in brand new water. Looked phenomenal. Finished Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Not a lot of people can do that. What'd you think of the performance?
Well, Cerrone looked flat. He started slow. Even when he was warming up, I was like, oh man, he always starts slow. He started slower than usual. I think it's just a matter of, mentally he was ready to fight again. Physically, it didn't look like his body was. But enough about that. Jorge Masvidal looked phenomenal. He's looked really good in his last couple fights. He's got a chin. He's a tough guy. He's got a well-rounded skill set. He's not huge for 170, but apparently he's big enough.
This was the most important fight of his career. He called out Cerrone, called his shot, and delivered. For Masvidal, the big critiques on him have been that he's gun-shy. When he goes out, he has the tools, but he doesn't use them. He did it in this, but now he's in new water. He's got to keep doing it.
Yeah, there's some bad dudes above him.
What do you think? Next fight, maybe Carlos Condit if he wants to scrap?
I wondered what would be next for him, because it would be a big jump up. And then, I wonder what he said to Cerrone as they walked away, because he was kind of mean. Calm down, Jorge. Be nice to people. You won. Let's be nice.
He said after the fact, his grandma, Cowboy's grandma, walked up to Jorge and said, "You're a badass fighter, because nobody does that to my boy." And he said he kind of felt bad about it. He said he felt bad about everything.
Oh, it's good. I'm glad you told me that. Now I feel... Because he was really mean calling out people like that and beating them up. It was rude.
Yeah. Shame on you, Jorge.
No place for that nonsense in this sport.
The fight game. Get out of here. Moving right along. Francis Ngannou. Wow.
Did we say his name right?
Power.
We don't know. You don't know either.
I would love to hear you say it. No, thanks.
Rob.
All right. He takes out Andrei Arlovski, another first-round knockout. 5 fights, 5 finishes. This guy is for real. He moves up to number 6 in the rankings. Probably could have gone as high as number 5. What'd you think?
Well, I just dropped the rankings, so I don't know if I disagree with you or not. I think he looked great. He's gotten progressively better, and that's what I really like to see out of a fighter like him, especially not a young guy, but young in the sport, new in the game. And he's gotten better every fight. Every time he steps in the octagon, he has more pieces to the puzzle. Now, though, he's in the deep water where the talent separation really starts to happen. And I'm interested to see what he can do in the against the well-ranked, the Overeems, JDSs, those guys.
He called out either JDS or Overeem, said if Cane's ready, he's ready for him. I'm not so sure about that yet. I might like to see one more before he jumps into those waters. I think it was Dana White who said, we got to figure out, how quickly we want to throw this guy to the top of the ranks.
Yeah, that's a good point, and obviously Dana's right because he's our boss, so he's right. But where else is there for him to go if not in the deep waters with those sharks?
In the main event of the evening, Valentina Shevchenko took out Juliana Pena. I don't think a lot of people scripted it like this. It was Shevchenko that landed 2 takedowns to just 1 for Pena. She ends up submitting her off her back. Just a phenomenal performance. What'd you think?
Juliana was her usual self. She came out and she was tough. She was durable. She just got surprised with that armbar. The beautiful armbar, though. And great foot sweeps. Low energy, nice little sweep she had. It's really you should break those down in your jiu-jitsu class this week and look at that over under that sweeps. Ball sweeps, amazing.
For Pena, she drops down 2 spots in the rankings. Shevchenko has earned a rematch against Amanda Nunes. You watched her fight, UFC 196. What does she have to do differently this time around to take out Nunes, who she was having success against in the 3rd round?
Maybe if that's a 5-round fight, maybe she wins it, right? Here's the thing, what you have to factor in is Shevchenko is a southpaw counter striker. Amanda's not just going to go in and let loose with her. Shevchenko's got too many tools. She's too crafty on the feet. She's been a kickboxer her whole life.
Great. Moving right along. Quick shout out. Sam Alvey makes his debut in the rankings. Alexandre Pantoja at flyweight as well. And also, Rafael Assunção gets the win. Split decision over Aljamain Sterling. Moves up to number 3. But we got a big fight in the featherweight division this weekend. One night before the big game in Houston, it is the return of the Korean Zombie. Chan Sung Jung is taking on Dennis Bermudez. Huge fight. He's been gone for 3.5 years. What do you think about this matchup stylistically?
I'm interested to see. The Korean Zombie has been gone for 3 years. We just talked about he had an injury. He was in military service. Dennis Bermudez, he's actually got a small frame for 45. He's just a big, muscular guy. I'm interested to see.
As always, go to UFC.com for the complete rankings.
This was another lifeless, flaccid edition of the rankings reports where we're literally falling asleep as we talk to you.
Flaccid.
Pathetic.
Speak for yourself.